All right, during December, we hear the big three when it comes to gifts. We've got the gold, we've got the myrrh, we've got the frankincense. But here's a question. What are they actually? Do you know? Jonathan Evans does. He's an herbal information specialist at the Herbarium in Chicopee. So these three things, they're huge. Tell us kind of what they are first.
All right, well, since this is the season, you have the gold, the frankincense, and myrrh, the spiritual aspect to this as the Christ child's gifts. Everybody gets gold.
Yeah.
That signified the earthly kingship of Jesus. The frankincense was the priestly and the spiritual kingship. Frankincense has been burned, it was being burned in the Temple of Solomon in the Holy of Holies. This is what brought the prayers from Israel to God and so forth. So that was indicative of his spiritual kingship. And the myrrh was a precognition, if you will, just a predeterminant of his crucifixion and his resurrection. Myrrh has been used, it was used by the Egyptians to help embalm the bodies. It was one of the things that was helped to embalm people back in biblical times. So that is the religious aspect, the spiritual aspect of why these were given. Also, because frankincense and myrrh were very, very rare, only the royalty, only the kings could have this stuff. The myrrh was used a lot of times in ointments. If you think back 2,000 years ago, I mean, the Middle East is dirty now. 2,000 years ago, a simple cut could cause death. The ointment, the myrrh was crushed, made into an ointment, into a salve, and put on injuries and so forth. So, again, only the rich would have that. That's where this aspect of the gold, frankincense, and myrrh comes from. Now, it's used today because we know the uses of the myrrh and the frankincense. The myrrh, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. They do use it in many places as an ointment, as a salve. It can be, the pieces, the resin can be put into a little pot. It can be heated and melted, and you can scent the air.
For an aromatic thing, because that's the thing. You don't go to a store, you don't see a can of myrrh. You know what I mean?
Not usually. Well, you do at my place, but that's a whole other story. But the frankincense and myrrh into a powder, a lot of folks will use this for ceremonial purposes and actually to purify the air. They'll light a charcoal disc, they'll sprinkle that on, and it'll plume right out. It's very nice. Anybody who's been to a Catholic Mass or Eastern Orthodox, when they're running around with the censer, this is what they're burning, is the frankincense.
They're burning frankincense. So what are the healative, restorative properties of frankincense? This
stuff, strangely enough, it has been used for just about everything from arthritis to a sore throat. It's also, again, antibacterial and antiviral. And again, burning into the air is cleaning it. But strangely enough, every bit of information that I found on it, for some reason, through history, there's always been a spiritual connection with the frankincense. In every culture that uses it, it is used as a connection to the divine.
How neat is that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the interesting part when you start discovering these things, is the uses of them are absolutely amazing. And, you know, again, we have a frankincense and myrrh, a perfume oil, actually, that people will use. It's a nice smell, actually.
That smells great. Yeah. Now, what about gold? Does gold have any restorative spiritual properties besides the fact that everybody likes to wear it?
Well, as, what's his name, Donald Trump says, everybody wants gold. I get that, Donald. Gold, it does actually have some therapeutic effects, but not as much. Again, this was the whole aspect of just the earthly kingship.
Exactly, and those were the three.
It was rare, so that's what we're going for.
The gifts that came from the three kings, but they're still well in use today. Jonathan, thank you so much for stopping by. And you got all in a basket?
Little Christmas gifts, yep. I made tree ornaments with gold, frankincense, and myrrh, and if you smell it.
Smells fantastic.
Put this on the tree, it's going to warm up, the whole house is going to smell nice, and it's going to help purify the air.
Happy holidays, Jonathan.
Merry Christmas.
Always a pleasure seeing you. And